Hey, all you crazy guitar players out there. Just want to do a little video today showing how to play the song I Love Rock and Roll. And if you could please like and subscribe to this page, it would enable me to make many more videos for your entertainment, enjoyment, and education. So we're going to start off just playing a little bit of the riff there, breaking it down and getting right into the solo. And this song is pretty straightforward. It only really revolves around E5 and A5 for the most part. And it's got a couple other power chords to shift, but for the most part, it's a really simple song, and it's a nice, fun, easy one to play along with. And also, a lot of bands know how to play this song. So if you're ever in a situation that a band is playing live and they say, hey, come up and play a song with us, then 99% of the time, a lot of bands know how to play this song, especially if there's a female vocalist. So let's get into it. Okay, as I said before, this song is pretty straightforward. It just revolves around mainly two chords. So you have the E5, which you have the 6th string open and first finger on the 2nd fret 5th string. And you're just playing the top two strings, so the low E and the 5th string with your first finger on the 5th string 2nd fret, and that's your E5. And then you just drop your hand down one string and you have your A5. And you're just playing the 5th and 4th string again with your first finger on the 4th string 2nd fret. So 90% of the song, that's pretty much what this song is going to revolve around. So we're going to go through all the rhythm parts, and then we're going to get into and break down the solo. So the intro is pretty much the exact same as the chorus riff. So let me just play the intro here. So So that's the intro, and then it goes into the verse. So you're going to play that E5 twice, and then a little bit of a pause, then you play it again, and then you play the 6th string open, the low E string open, and then play the 3rd fret, and that 3rd fret is going to be used with your 2nd finger. Reason being is because you want to keep using your first finger for that E5 and A5. So it's essential to use anything for this particular song, anything on the 2nd fret with your first finger. So you go 6th string open, 3rd fret, then you play the A5 twice. And then from there, you're going to play a B power chord. So first finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, pinky on the 4th string, 4th fret. You play that twice. And then you're going to do that 0-3 again on the 6th string with your 2nd finger, and then you go back to the E5. So just up until there, slowly, it's like. And for the most part, you're just going to do downs with your pick for the 90% of the song. Then you go E5 again, then you do that 0-3 on the 6th string, then you go to an A5 again twice, then you do that B5 on the 2nd fret, 5th string, then you hit the 6th string open and you quickly go up to the 7th fret for an E, another E5. And that's the one with the root on the 5th string. So 7th fret, 5th string, 9th fret, 4th string. And you hit that twice. So when you're going from that B up to the E, you kind of have to make a pretty quick shift. And in between them, you're hitting the 6th string open. So it's like. Okay, so that's how. So that might take a little bit of practice to get that. So slowly. And then you go back to the lower E5. And then you do this fill that's going to be reoccurring in lots of basically the whole song. So there's this fill that reoccurs throughout the whole song. So what you're doing is you have a 2nd fret of the 4th string of the D string, and you sort of hit that 2nd fret, and then you flip your finger off the string to get a pull off. Then you play the 5th string 2nd fret, then the 5th string open, and then the 6th string 3rd fret. So. And with my pick for this particular part, for every single time I play this little fill, I go down on the 4th string with the pull off. Then I play the 5th string 2nd fret down, 5th string open down, and then I do a up on the 6th string 3rd fret, and then that prepares encourages me to get back to the E5. So slowly, and then up to speed. So if you haven't done those pull-offs before, then this is a really good little exercise. So you just hit that second fret, and then you sort of flick the string off your finger, right, to go to the open string. And then fifth string, second fret, open, third fret with an up, and then now we're into the verse. So the verse, you're going to start the verse, and this is where the singing comes in. Then you're going to do this E5, so twice, and then there's a pretty big pause before you hit the next E5 twice. Then again, you do that little fill that we just talked about, and then you do the E5 again twice. Then you do the B5 twice, again bringing in that fill, and then you do an A5 twice, B5 twice, and then you do that 7th fret where you just shift that up. But you don't have to hit the 6th string open this time between them, you just go, and then you're back to ringing out an A. So then you let this A chord ring. So that's with the first finger on the 4th string, 5th string open. You just let it ring for like 8 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you kind of stop the chord from ringing, and then there's a little bit of a break there. And then we come into the B5, 2nd fret, and you ride that out 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're into the chorus. So let me just play through that verse slowly. So B5, fill, A5, B5, B5 up high, and then you let the A ring. And then you stop the string from ringing, then you play that B5 8 times for a transition to the chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And like I said, the intro is pretty much identical to the chorus. So now the chorus. So the chorus, you start off with that E5, playing that twice. Again, do that 0 to 3 on the 6th string, just like the intro, and then we do the A5 twice, B5 twice, go back to the E5 twice, another 2 times, 0, 3 on the 6th string, A5 twice, then you do the B5, and then you're going to do that same as the intro. So that's where we did the B, hit the 6th string open, and then you do the higher register of the E twice. So it's like, and then you come back to the E5 twice, and then you do the fill that we've been doing. So those also, let me talk a little bit about during that fill, there's another higher guitar doing that fill with this lower part. So that there's another guitar playing the octave, actually 2 octaves above. So you're going to bend on the 15th fret of the B string. So, and then release it, and then play the 12th fret of the 2nd string. And then you do the 14th fret of the 3rd string or the G string, and then you play the 12th fret of the G string. So that goes along with throughout the whole song. So every time you do that fill, if you hear that higher register part, that's like. So you bend on the 50, release, play the 12 of the B string, 14th fret of the G string, and then 12th fret of it. So that goes along with that every time. But I'm just going to be basically doing these lower ones throughout the lesson here. Okay, so that's the intro, verse, and then the chorus. Let me just play through that chorus real quick again. So here's the chorus. B. Actually, so let me do that chorus again. Sorry. So. E, E, A, and then back to the E, and then the fill. And let me do it one more time. So. And the E, and then our fill. Okay, and then it comes back to the verse, then you do the chorus again, and then we get into the solo, which I'm going to break down the solo at the end of this video. And then after the solo, it comes into the chorus again, and then you do this ending part. So now the ending part here, let me just play this, I'll play it for you real quick, and then we can break it down. So the ending. Repeats. So that part goes 4 times. So what's happening there is you're doing the E5 again, just like we've been doing. Do it again, twice. O3 on the 6th string. The A5 twice. B5 twice. And then the E5 again. 0-3 on the 6th string, and then the A5 twice, and then the B, and right after you do the B, this time you're going to hit the 6th string open right away, and then you repeat the whole thing. So from that last B, you go, you come right into it again. So slowly from that last B, and that's when you're coming back into it. Okay, so let's break that down again. So you got the E twice, again, 0-3 on the 6th string, A5 twice, B5 twice, E again, 0-3, A5 twice. Here's where so that's it. And that's when you're going to kind of start it over again. So let me play through it in up to speed. So you got that. Start over. And then when it ends, you're going to go, after the 4th time, you go, you just hit that E. And you can go, if you want, play the higher register E as well. Okay, so that's how to play all the rhythm parts in the song I Love Rock and Roll by JOan Jet. Yeah, and now we're going to get into breaking down the solo. Okay, so like I said, we're going to break down the solo this time. And then you'll have all the parts to the song. So again, if there's any band that actually to come up and play this song, then you'll have all the parts, rhythm and solo. So the solo is not too difficult. There's a couple things there. If you're not too used to, then you might have to do a little extra practicing, but it's worth it because this is a cool solo. And then again, like I said, you'll have the complete song. So this solo, the rhythm part is going on, it's going to be the verse. So that's the rhythm part that's going on during the solo. So to start off the solo, you're going to have the E5 that we've been doing. So you hit the top string with the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then you're going to rake the strings 4 times. So then you're just going to gently have your hand resting on the string as you go. So right away, so just to keep that flow and the momentum. Then you're going to do 3rd fret on the 6th string twice, and then the E5 again. So okay, so that's the intro of it. And then you do this E7 sharp 9. So that's going to be so that type of thing there. So okay, and what that is there basically, so you have 2nd fret with your 2nd finger on the 5th string, 1st finger on the 3rd string of the third string. So first finger on the third string, first fret, and then pinky on the second string, third fret. And then you're going to play that with the sixth string open so you're playing all six strings, and then you grab the whammy bar and you push down. So you do that twice. So from the intro, actually just push down once after you play that E sharp 9 chord. Then you're going to slide from the 9 to the 11 on the D string, on the 4th string. Then you play the 9th fret of the G string. Then you play the 11th fret of the G string. And then you're going to bend on, bend on the 11 and play the 12 of the B string. So you bend and do that twice. So bend on the 11, play the 12 of the B string with your pinky, and do that twice. Okay, so from the slide 4th string, 9 to 11, 9 to 11 on the G string, then you bend on the G string 11, just a half step, then you play the B string 12th fret with your pinky. So, and then you do a pull off 11 to 9 on the G string, and then you play 11th on the 4th string on the D string, and then you do another pull off. So from the 3rd string, you do a pull off 11 to 9, play the 4th string 11, then you sort of roll your finger back over to the 3rd string, the G string, another 11 to 9, pull off, do 2 rakes, and then you do a hammer on 9 to 11 on the 4th string, play the G string 9, and then you do a pull off 11 to 9, and then you're coming out of that into an A5. Okay, so let me play it from the first slide. After you play this E sharp 9, you come up, you slide, and you're basically here in, so this song's in E, and this position here, you're basically in E major pentatonic. So that's kind of what area you're sort of playing in right here. So you're sliding from the 9 to 11 on the D string, play the 9 to 11 on the G string, bend on the 11th fret, half step up to G natural, from F sharp to G natural, then you play the B string 12th fret with your pinky, and you do that twice. And then you do a pull off from 11 to 9 on the 3rd string, on the G string, play the 4th string 11th fret, then you roll your finger over and you play that 11 to 9 pull off again. So it's like, and then you do 2 rakes, and then you do a 9 to 11 hammer on the D string, play the 9 on the G string, and then you do a pull off 11 to 9 on the, so from the beginning, slowly. To the A, and that's the part where you're coming into the A for the verse section. Do the B up to that higher E5, and that's when you let the A ring, and then there's a big extra long pause. So again, let me play that solo again. So slowly, you got the E5 twice, 4 rakes, 3rd fret 6th string, E5 once, 2 quick rakes, and then you got the E sharp 9, 1 whammy bar. Now you're sliding into this E major pentatonic position, sliding on the 4th string, 9 to 11, play the 9 to 11 on the G string, bend on the 11 to up to the 12th fret of the G string, play the 12th fret of the B string, do it again, then you do a pull off 11 to 9 on the G string, 4th string 11th fret, and then go back to the G string 11 to 9, 2 quick rakes, a 9 to 11 hammer on the D string, G string 9, pull off 11 to 9 on the G string, and then A. So Tempo. Long, big pause and singing the chorus kind of a cappella. And then you just come straight into that ending part to finish off the song that we went through earlier. And you do it 4 times. And that's the whole song. So there you go, folks. Thank you for checking this video out. There's the entire song for I Love Rock and Roll. I hope it helps. I hope you get something from it. A lot of cool techniques that are super, super common in literally thousands of songs, rock songs, based rock songs. And yeah, so if there's a band playing that song, you know, you'll be prepared to kind of jump up on stage at any time. It's a cool song to cover. And if you're kind of new to solos, then that might be a great solo to start to tackle. And yeah, just a great song overall, real easy to play along to, and a fun song to play. So again, thank you for checking out this channel and watching this video. And if you could please like and subscribe, that would be great. And I'll keep making more videos for your enjoyment and entertainment and education. Have a great day. Cheers.